Everyone, I'm Kim from Hungerford Technologies, and today I have Ben Myslinski, our Director of Sales, on with us, and he is going to go over who is a good fit and who might not be a good fit for our IT service offerings. Take it away, Ben.
Thanks, Kim. So one thing I wanted to say too before we go into the video is this is for our managed service business, and these are just specific requirements of who's a good fit and who's not a good fit for our different IT service offerings, not our phone system stuff that we do all across the United States. So if you're looking for that video, we're going to link that below so you can find that and watch it as well. For everyone else, thank you for joining and being here. And if you've been following along with our content, we appreciate it. If you do find this valuable, please feel free to like, subscribe, follow us, leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Okay, so when we talk about good, you know, product service fit for what we do with our IT service offerings, we like to ideally have things aligned in these specific things. So one of them is within 90 miles of our Grand Rapids office. And the reason that we have within 90 miles is just because it better allows us to, you know, reach the people that we need to work with and help them if we need to send someone on site. Now, we obviously have people who are outside of that, but ideally, if you're within that 90-mile range, it helps us to better support everything that you do. And then the other thing is too, is we found, 25 to 200 employees is kind of the sweet spot of where we find the greatest success. And, what we do there is kind of work either, as your complete IT, or if you have internal IT, we try to kind of fill in the gaps of what you're missing that you don't have on that team from a skill set point. And another thing that we go into too is if you have Windows-based PCs, so, your Dells, your Lenovos, your HPs, those are all great. And our team has a lot of expertise on there. I'm sure I'm missing some other Windows-based computers, but just kind of wanted to give you the details on those types of computers, just in case someone is like, I don't know what that means. Windows-based PCs, our team has tons of experience on that. They're experts on it. And so we try and primarily stick with people who have Windows-based PCs. The other thing that we're looking for too is people who are looking to make a change within the next 12 months, but also we're looking for people who may know, hey, things aren't working out well with my current provider, but I know I have, a year and a half or 2 years left. If you want to start that process early and start working with us, a lot of times what we found is it can make the onboarding process easier once you do get to that point, because we've talked through all of the different problems that you've had, what we're going to do, how we're going to help you, and how we're going to align what we do to your goals and to what you're trying to do. And then another thing too that we look for is problems and pain points and things that, we know we can help come in and improve. So some of those things can be, if you don't feel like you've documented all the technology in your environment, you don't know where it is and you don't know what all of it does. That's something our team does and is part of our onboarding process and has been proven to show, a significant improvement for the clients that we work with. If you're looking for someone who's going to give you a budget and a life cycle of, hey, when do I need to replace these things ideally? And what's the maximum life that I can get out of them? We're going to be able to consult and advise you on those things and say, hey, this needs to be replaced in this 5 to 7 year range. And here's why. Now you can get this maximum amount out of it. And, here's some additional details on that. And then we're going to give you a budget so that there's less surprises for things that you're running into. And that's just something, those are a couple things that I'm highlighting that we do that we found, to be hugely advantageous for the people we're working with. Now, the people that are not a good fit for what we do usually fall into some different buckets and some different categories. And the reasons that they're not a good fit will become obvious to you as you watch this. One of those is, people who are, far outside of our 90-mile radius and have specific needs that we wouldn't be able to, kind of remote in and do the work that we need to do. we would have to have someone on site. So obviously we do work with people who are outside of that 90-mile radius. We take those people on a case by case basis. And we have people too who have remote employees and users, across the country. So we definitely will take those on a case by case basis, but ideally we're looking for people too within that 90-mile radius. If you do have Macs, another thing too is if you're all Macs, it's something that we would have to pass on and pass along to someone else because we just don't have the expertise on our team. And we found that Macs have a lot of issues with different, security privacy settings and tying into different business tools and software. There can potentially be a lot of issues with Macs in that area. So we stay away from them. If you do have, one or two or a handful of Macs, um, we definitely will still work with you, but if it's a complete Mac organization, we'll stay away from it. And then when we talk about things that don't work well for people who are looking to work with us, it is those prospective customers that don't want to listen to any of our recommendations for best practices. And now, we've been doing this for years. And so we continually improve on this process to make all of the recommendations that we make for the businesses that we work with to help you, either save money, to make you more efficient, to reduce downtime, to minimize risk. And so if people aren't willing to listen to those recommendations and improve their IT environment, then they're probably not going to be a good fit for what we do. And then another thing too that kind of aligns with this is people don't take security seriously. And if you come in and you talk to them and you say, these are the things that you need to do. You need to turn on two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. Some people know it as. You need to have this in place and this in place and this in place. And this will help to minimize the risk that you have as an organization. A lot of times people say, well, yeah, but we don't think we're going to do that. And then they get breached or someone, gets into their environment, takes their data. And, we've decided if at the very beginning, if that's not something that you take seriously, and if you don't prioritize that, we definitely will, let someone else work with you that may not have the same philosophy as us. Another thing we talk about too is a lot of times we see people who are always so focused on lowest cost. And our philosophy is you can have lowest cost, cheapest cost, or you can have great quality. You can't have both. You have to pick one or the other. Most of the time, when you have lowest price, it there's a lot of negative connotations that align with the lowest cost or lowest price, or that someone has cut corners. And the opposite is true too for highest quality. Like we're going to do everything in our power to support you and to make you successful with the IT that's in your environment. Another thing that we see too from people who are not a good fit is they're always trying to shift blame or blaming other people for problems that they have, even when they've been proposed solutions to those problems. And then they say, well, you guys never told me that. Or, I never heard that before. So we're really good about documenting the recommendations that we make for the companies that we work with and providing those recommendations to people on the meetings that we have with them through email and meeting with our customer success managers. So, I always can go back and we can always pull that up and put it in front of you. And a lot of times those individuals, it's, a consistent, vicious cycle of shifting blame away to others. And it's something that we definitely do not want to work with. Again, if you've enjoyed this video and you found the different videos that you've been watching of ours valuable, please feel free to, like, subscribe, follow us on LinkedIn, put in a comment if there's other topics you'd like to see us cover. And if you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to us at sales@hungerforward.tech. Thanks for your time, and we appreciate you.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.